Before you cry for them one more time, pause. Ask yourself something your heart has been avoiding. If this relationship was truly good for you, why does it keep pulling you into sadness, confusion, and sleepless nights? Why do you keep forgiving the same wound? Why do you keep praying for someone who keeps breaking the peace Allah gave you? Sometimes the person you are afraid to lose is the same person Allah is trying to save you from. And sometimes your tears are not proof of love. They are proof that your soul is tired of being hurt in the name of love. So listen carefully, because not every relationship deserves your tears, and not every person who makes you cry is written to stay in your life. 1. Love should not keep destroying your peace. If a relationship keeps taking your peace, it is not always love. Sometimes it is attachment wearing the name of loyalty. You keep telling yourself, "I care about them. That is why I cannot leave." But deep inside, your heart already knows the difference between love and suffering. Real love does not make you feel afraid every time they become silent. Real love does not make you overthink every message, every tone, every delay, every small change in their behavior. Real love does not make your chest heavy at night while the other person sleeps peacefully without thinking about the pain they caused you. In Islam, love is not only emotion. Love is mercy, respect, honesty, responsibility, and fear of Allah in how you treat another heart. If someone keeps breaking your peace, making you cry, and then acting like your pain is too much, you must ask yourself, is this person protecting my heart or slowly damaging it? Sometimes we hold on because we remember the good moments, but a few beautiful memories cannot cover repeated wounds. Allah did not create your heart to be a place where someone can keep hurting you and still expect unlimited chances. Your peace is also a blessing from Allah, and not every relationship deserves to take it away. 2. Stop calling pain sabr when it is really disrespect. Sabr is one of the most beautiful qualities a believer can have, but sabr does not mean allowing someone to keep breaking your heart while you stay silent and call it love. Sometimes people confuse patience with accepting disrespect. They think, if I keep forgiving, maybe Allah will reward me. But Islam never teaches you to lose your dignity for someone who has no fear of hurting you. There is a difference between being patient with someone's weakness and becoming a victim of someone's repeated carelessness. If they hurt you once and sincerely regret it, that is human. But if they hurt you again and again, ignore your tears, return with empty apologies, and repeat the same wound, then this is no longer a mistake. It is a pattern. And when Allah shows you a pattern, He is not asking you to be blind. He is asking you to understand. Your heart is not sinful for feeling tired. You are not weak for wanting peace. You are not wrong for needing respect, honesty, and mercy. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught kindness, not emotional cruelty. So stop calling every pain a test of loyalty. Sometimes the test is whether you will finally choose your dignity, trust Allah, and walk away from what keeps destroying you. 3. Allah shows you red flags before He closes the door. Sometimes Allah does not remove someone from your life suddenly. Sometimes, out of His mercy, He shows you the truth slowly, clearly, and repeatedly, so your heart cannot say later, "I did not know." He shows you their behavior when they are angry. He shows you how they speak when they no longer need to impress you. He shows you how quickly they disappear when you need comfort, and how easily they return when they need something from you. These signs are not random. These signs are not small. These signs are warnings wrapped in mercy. When you love someone deeply, your heart can become very dangerous to itself. It begins defending what is hurting it. It begins explaining what should never need an explanation. It begins saying, maybe they are just stressed. Maybe they did not mean it. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I should be more patient. But ask yourself honestly, how many times will you make excuses for someone before you finally admit that Allah has already shown you their reality? A red flag is not always loud. Sometimes it is the heaviness in your chest after speaking to them. Sometimes it is the way your heart becomes restless when their name appears on your phone. Sometimes it is the way you feel closer to anxiety than peace when you are with them. Sometimes it is how you pray more desperately because of them, not peacefully because of Allah. And when someone becomes the reason your salah loses focus, your heart loses calm, and your mind loses rest, you must stop and think, is this person truly a blessing, or are they becoming a test I refuse to understand? Allah knows what you do not know. You only see the moments that touched your heart, but Allah sees the future that could break it. You remember the sweet words, the promises, the memories, the times they made you smile. But Allah also sees the hidden patterns, the intentions, the weakness of their character, the damage they may cause if they stay longer. Sometimes you are praying for a person because you love what they were in the beginning, while Allah is protecting you from what they are becoming now. Do not ignore repeated hurt just because there were beautiful moments before it. A few good memories do not erase consistent disrespect. A kind message after hurting you does not erase the wound they keep repeating. An apology without change is not healing, it is only a pause before the same pain returns. And if your heart keeps breaking in the same place, maybe Allah is showing you that this door is not leading to love, it is leading to destruction. Many people beg Allah for signs, but when the signs come, they reject them because the signs do not match what their heart wants. They ask Allah, show me if this person is right for me. Then when Allah shows distance, confusion, disrespect, coldness, instability, and repeated tears, they still say, maybe this is just a test. Yes, it may be a test, but not always a test to stay. Sometimes it is a test to leave with Iman, dignity and trust. There are people Allah allows you to love, not because they are your final destination, but because they are meant to reveal something inside you. They show you where you are too attached. They show you where you are willing to abandon your peace. They show you how easily your heart can confuse attention with love and apology with change. And through that pain, Allah teaches you to return to Him before you lose yourself in someone else. The red flags you keep ignoring may one day become the reasons you cry harder. The behavior you keep forgiving may become the habit that destroys your self-worth. The disrespect you keep accepting may become the standard they believe you deserve. This is why Allah shows you early. This is why your heart feels uneasy. This is why peace disappears, even when you try to convince yourself everything is fine. Allah does not expose someone's reality to humiliate you. He exposes it to protect you. He does not show you the truth so you can suffer more. He shows it so you can stop building a future with someone who may only bring you pain. Sometimes Allah opens your eyes before He closes the door, because He wants your heart to understand that what left was not always a loss. So when someone keeps making you cry, stop asking only, why are they doing this to me? Ask, what is Allah showing me through this? Because the answer may hurt, but it may also save your life. Maybe Allah is showing you that love without respect is not love. Maybe He is showing you that someone can be in your heart, but still not be written for your peace. Maybe He is showing you that your tears are not asking you to hold on. They are begging you to wake up. And if Allah keeps showing you the same red flags, do not close your eyes and call it patience. Open your heart and call it guidance. Because sometimes the greatest mercy is not when Allah gives you the person you want, but when He reveals why that person was never safe for your soul. 4. The wrong person makes you beg for what should be natural. The wrong person does not always destroy you in one day. Sometimes they destroy you slowly, quietly and emotionally, until you no longer recognize the version of yourself that keeps begging for the smallest things. At first, you only wanted love. Then you started begging for attention. Then you started begging for honesty. Then you started begging for a reply. Then you started begging for clarity. Then you started begging them to understand the pain they caused. And one day, you sit alone and wonder, how did I become someone who asks for basic respect like it is a favor? This is what the wrong relationship does. It makes simple things feel impossible. It makes peace feel expensive. It makes kindness feel rare. It makes you feel grateful for the bare minimum because you have been emotionally starving for so long. They reply once after ignoring you for hours, and your heart feels relief. They speak kindly once after hurting you, and you think maybe things are changing. They apologize once after repeating the same wound, and you convince yourself they still care. But love should not make you survive on crumbs and call them blessings. In Islam, love is not only words. Love is mercy. Love is protection. Love is responsibility. Love is honesty. Love is fear of Allah in the way you treat another person's heart. A person can say, "I love you," but if their actions keep making you feel unwanted, confused, insecure, and broken, then their words are not enough. Words can touch the ear, but actions reveal the heart. And when someone's actions repeatedly wound you, you must stop letting their words cover the truth Allah is showing you. The right person will not make you beg for basic respect. They may not be perfect, but they will not enjoy your pain. They will not keep hurting you and then blame you for reacting. They will not disappear when you need comfort and return when they need attention. They will not make you feel like your feelings are a burden. They will not make you apologize for being hurt by something they caused. The right person may make mistakes, but they will care when those mistakes hurt you. They will fear Allah enough to correct themselves, not just explain themselves. But the wrong person learns your softness and uses it against you. They know you forgive easily. They know you cannot stay angry for long. They know one kind message can pull you back. They know your heart is loyal, and instead of protecting that loyalty, they take advantage of it. They begin to treat your forgiveness like a guarantee. They hurt you because they believe you will stay. They ignore you because they believe you will wait. They give less because they know you will keep hoping for more. This is where many hearts become trapped. You do not stay because you are happy. You stay because you remember who they were in the beginning. You remember the sweet words, the promises, the attention, the moments that made you feel chosen. But sometimes the beginning is not the truth. Sometimes the beginning is only the door. The real test is not how someone treats you when they are trying to win your heart. The real test is how they treat you when they know they already have it. If someone was gentle at first but became careless later, pay attention. If someone respected you at first but now mocks your feelings, pay attention. If someone once made you feel safe but now makes your heart restless, pay attention. Because character is not proven by the first beautiful moments. Character is proven by consistency. Anyone can be kind for a season. Anyone can say beautiful things when they want access to your heart. But only a person who fears Allah will continue to honor you when emotions are tested, when misunderstandings happen, and when things become difficult. The wrong person makes you negotiate with your own dignity. You start saying, "Maybe I should not ask too much," but you are not asking too much when you ask for respect. You start saying, "Maybe I should be more understanding," but understanding does not mean accepting repeated disrespect. You start saying, "Maybe this is normal," but emotional pain should not become your daily routine. Love should not make you feel like you are always one mistake away from being abandoned. A relationship that forces you to beg for clarity is not peaceful. A relationship that makes you constantly question where you stand is not stable. A relationship that makes your heart afraid to speak is not safe. If you cannot express pain without being called dramatic, if you cannot ask for honesty without being blamed, if you cannot need reassurance without feeling ashamed, then you are not in a place of love. You are in a place where your emotions are being trained to stay quiet. And this is dangerous, because slowly you begin to betray yourself. You stop saying what hurts you. You stop asking questions. You stop expecting care. You lower your standards so they can fit into your life. You shrink your heart so their lack of effort does not look so painful. You pretend you are fine because every time you speak, the conversation becomes another wound. But silence does not mean you are healed. Sometimes silence only means you are exhausted from explaining your pain to someone committed to misunderstanding it. Allah did not give you a heart so someone could keep proving how little they value it. Allah did not place softness in you so another person could treat it like weakness. Your ability to love deeply is not a mistake, but giving that love to someone who keeps damaging you can become a lesson. And sometimes Allah allows you to feel the weight of begging so you can finally realize that love should not require you to abandon your self-respect. The one who is right for you will not make your worth feel like a question. They will not make you compete for attention. They will not make you feel like you are too much when all you asked for was basic care. They will not leave you crying and then sleep peacefully while your heart breaks. They will not turn your tears into something normal. They will understand that a heart is an amana, and whoever enters someone's life must fear Allah in the way they handle that trust. This does not mean the right relationship will have no problems. Every relationship has tests. Every person has flaws. Every heart has moments of weakness. But there is a difference between a relationship that has problems and a relationship that becomes the problem. There is a difference between someone who hurts you and feels pain because they hurt you, and someone who hurts you and only feels annoyed because you mentioned it. There is a difference between repair and repetition. Repair brings change. Repetition brings destruction. If you are always the one fixing, always the one explaining, always the one forgiving, always the one reaching out, always the one crying, always the one carrying the emotional weight, then pause. Ask yourself, is this relationship balanced, or am I holding something alone that was meant to be carried by two people with sincerity and fear of Allah? Because love should not feel like one person drowning while the other watches from the shore. The wrong person will make you feel guilty for wanting what is natural. They will make you feel needy for wanting communication. They will make you feel dramatic for wanting emotional safety. They will make you feel difficult for wanting respect. But these things are not luxuries. They are the foundation of a healthy connection. If someone makes you feel ashamed for needing the basics, it is because they benefit from giving you less than you deserve. Sometimes your tears are not because you are weak. Sometimes your tears are your soul saying, I cannot keep living like this. Sometimes your pain is not asking you to try harder. Sometimes it is asking you to stop handing your heart to someone who keeps dropping it. Sometimes Allah allows the wrong person to make you beg, not because He wants you humiliated, but because He wants you to see clearly what happens when you love someone more than you protect the peace He gave you. So if you find yourself begging for a reply, begging for honesty, begging for kindness, begging for respect, begging for someone to choose you properly, then listen carefully. What is written for you by Allah will not require you to destroy yourself to receive it. What is truly good for your deen and your heart will not make you feel worthless every day. The person who is meant to walk with you will not make love feel like punishment. Raise your hands to Allah and ask Him for courage, not just comfort. Ask Him to remove from your heart what keeps pulling you toward pain. Ask Him to make you strong enough to accept the truth, even when your heart still wants the person. Because sometimes the strongest dua is not, Ya Allah, make them stay. Sometimes the strongest dua is, Ya Allah, if they are not good for my deen, my peace, my future, and my heart, then remove them from me and remove my attachment to them. You were not created to beg for what should be natural. You were not created to chase someone into treating you with mercy. You were not created to cry every night over a person who does not fear losing you. Your heart deserves a love that brings calm, not confusion. A love that honors Allah, not just emotions. A love that protects your dignity, not one that slowly makes you forget it. And if someone keeps making you beg for the basics, maybe Allah is showing you that they are not the one your tears should be spent on. Maybe He is teaching you that your peace has value. Maybe He is reminding you that love without respect is not love. It is attachment with pain, and not every attachment deserves your tears. 5. When Allah removes them, He is returning you to yourself. When Allah removes someone from your life, the first feeling is not always peace. Sometimes the first feeling is pain. Sometimes it feels like your chest has become empty. Sometimes it feels like a part of your heart has been taken away without your permission. You wake up and still remember them. You hear something and it reminds you of them. You make dua and their name still comes to your tongue. You try to move forward, but your heart keeps walking backward to the memories, to the promises, to the version of them you wanted to believe was real. This is why removal hurts so deeply. It is not only the person you are losing, it is the future you imagined with them. It is the dream you built quietly. It is the conversations you saved in your heart. It is the hope that one day they would change, one day they would understand, one day they would stop hurting you and finally become the person you were praying for. So when Allah removes them, it feels like your dua was rejected, but sometimes Allah is not rejecting your dua. Sometimes Allah is protecting you from the pain hidden inside what you were asking for. You see the relationship from your side. Allah sees it from every side. You see the moments that made you smile. Allah sees the moments that would have broken you later. You see the beautiful beginning. Allah sees the painful ending before it reaches you. You remember what they said. Allah knows what they meant. You hold on to their promise. Allah knows whether they had the character to keep it. This is why sometimes Allah takes away what your heart still wants, because your heart is emotional, but Allah is all-knowing. At first, you may not understand. You may ask, Ya Allah, why did you let me love them if they were not meant to stay? But maybe Allah allowed you to love them because that relationship was meant to reveal something inside you. Maybe it showed you where you were too attached. Maybe it showed you how easily you ignored your own peace for someone else's attention. Maybe it showed you that you were willing to forgive repeated wounds just because you feared being alone. Maybe it showed you that your heart had started depending on a person in a way it should only depend on Allah. Sometimes a person does not leave your life because they are stronger than you. Sometimes they leave because Allah is stronger than your attachment. You were too soft to walk away, so Allah created distance. You were too hopeful to accept the truth, so Allah allowed their behavior to become clear. You were too emotionally tied to the dream, so Allah broke the illusion before it broke you completely. And although it hurts, that removal may be one of the greatest mercies you will ever receive. Because some people do not destroy you with one big wound. They destroy you slowly. They take your peace day by day. They make you overthink. They make you doubt yourself. They make you cry quietly. They make you feel hard to love. They make you feel like you are asking for too much when all you wanted was respect, honesty, and care. And if Allah had allowed them to stay longer, you may have lost parts of yourself that would have taken years to heal. So when Allah removes someone who kept hurting you, do not only look at the loss, look at what Allah may be returning to you. He may be returning your sleep. He may be returning your focus. He may be returning your peace in salah. He He may be returning your self-respect. He may be returning the version of you that used to smile without fear, pray without confusion, and breathe without heaviness in the chest. Sometimes Allah removes a person not to leave you empty, but to make space for your soul to come back home. The wrong relationship can make you forget who you were. You become someone who waits for a message before feeling okay. You become someone who checks their mood before speaking. You become someone who apologizes even when you were the one hurt. You become someone who accepts less because you are afraid of losing them completely. Slowly, your life begins to revolve around their behavior, their silence, their anger, their attention, their approval. And then Allah removes them, not because He wants to break you, but because He wants to free you from the prison you started calling love. Do not think every closed door is punishment. Some closed doors are protection. Some endings are answers. Some separations are mercy. Some heartbreaks are not signs that Allah forgot you, but signs that Allah saw what you could not see. He saw the danger behind the attachment. He saw the damage behind the sweet words. He saw the future behind the temporary comfort. He saw how much of yourself you were losing, and He loved you too much to let you keep bleeding for someone who did not value your heart. There will be moments when Shaitan whispers, maybe you lost the best thing. But remember, what is truly best for you will not pull you away from Allah. What is truly written for you will not destroy your dignity. What is truly good for your soul will not make you feel worthless every night. A person can be beautiful to your eyes and still be harmful to your peace. A person can be deeply loved by your heart and still not be good for your future. A person can be your desire and still not be your destiny. This is one of the hardest lessons of faith, trusting Allah when your heart does not agree yet. Because sometimes your heart still wants what Allah removed. Sometimes your emotions still miss what your soul is being protected from. Sometimes you know they hurt you, but you still miss the comfort of their presence. That does not mean you should go back. It means you are healing from attachment. Healing is not always instant. Healing is when your heart slowly learns to stop calling pain home. When Allah removes them, do not run back to the same wound just because loneliness feels heavy. Loneliness with Allah is better than togetherness with someone who keeps breaking you. Silence with peace is better than conversation with anxiety. An empty hand is better than holding a hand that keeps pulling you away from your dignity. Sometimes being alone is not a curse. Sometimes it is the place where Allah rebuilds the parts of you that the wrong person damaged. And in that quiet season, Allah teaches you things you could not learn while your heart was distracted. He teaches you to pray for yourself again. He teaches you to sleep without waiting for someone's message. He teaches you to stop measuring your worth by someone's attention. He teaches you that your value was never in whether they chose you or left you. He teaches you that your heart belongs first to Him, and anyone who enters it must not take His place. This is why you must not chase what Allah has removed. When Allah closes a door, do not keep standing in front of it until your soul becomes tired. Do not keep knocking on a door that only opens to hurt you again. Do not keep asking Allah to return someone who made you forget your own worth. Instead, ask Allah to return you to yourself. Ask Him to return your peace, your strength, your clarity, your softness, your trust, your ability to love without losing yourself. Sometimes your greatest dua is not, Ya Allah, bring them back. Sometimes your greatest dua is, Ya Allah, if they are not good for my deen, my heart, my peace, and my future, remove them from my life and remove them from my heart. This dua is painful because it surrenders what you want, but it is powerful because it trusts what Allah knows. And when you trust Allah more than your attachment, healing begins. You may cry in the beginning. That is okay. Tears are not weakness. Tears can be a release. But do not build your whole life around someone Allah is trying to remove. Do not make your tears an invitation for the wrong person to return. Cry to Allah, not for the person. Cry in sujood, not in front of someone who keeps treating your pain like a burden. Let your tears clean your heart, not chain it again to the same wound. One day, you will understand why they did not stay. One day, you will see what Allah saved you from. One day, you will remember how badly you wanted that relationship, and you will feel a deep shiver in your soul, because you will realize Allah protected you from a future you were too emotional to see. You will say, Alhamdulillah, Allah did not give me what I begged for. He gave me what saved me. And maybe that day will come when your heart feels peaceful again. Maybe it will come when you no longer check their name. Maybe it will come when you smile without pretending. Maybe it will come when your salah feels calm again. Maybe it will come when someone treats you with the mercy you once begged for. Or maybe it will come quietly, when you are alone with Allah and you realize that losing them was not the end of your life. It was the beginning of your return. Because when Allah removes the wrong person, He is not only taking someone away, He is giving something back. He is giving you back your dignity. He is giving you back your emotional safety. He is giving you back your connection with Him. He is giving you back the version of you that was buried under fear, waiting, overthinking, and tears. So if they left, if the door closed, if the relationship ended, if Allah removed them from your path, do not think your story is over. Maybe your story is finally being protected. Maybe your heart is finally being rescued. Maybe Allah is making space for a life that will not require you to cry every night to feel loved. Not every relationship deserves your tears. Not every person deserves another chance. Not every loss is truly a loss. Sometimes the person you lost was the person Allah removed so you could find yourself again. And when your heart finally becomes calm, when your soul finally breathes, when your eyes finally stop searching for what hurt you, you will understand the mercy behind the pain. You will not say, "Why did Allah take them?" You will say, "Alhamdulillah, Allah returned me to myself." Before this message ends, remember this: your tears are not invisible to Allah. Every night you cried quietly. Every time you forgave while your heart was bleeding. Every moment you felt unwanted by someone you loved. Allah saw it all. But sometimes Allah does not heal you by making them change. Sometimes He heals you by giving you the courage to stop returning to the same wound. So do not hate yourself for loving deeply. Do not shame your heart for hoping. Just understand this truth: love should not make you lose your peace, your dignity, or your connection with Allah. If someone keeps making you cry, take your heart back to the one who created it. Make dua, seek clarity, and trust what Allah is showing you. Because the person written for your peace will not make pain feel like love, and the one Allah removes was never stronger than the mercy Allah is bringing. So wipe your tears, raise your hands, and say with faith, "Ya Allah, protect my heart from every relationship that is not written for my peace. Remove what hurts me, heal what broke inside me, and guide me toward what is truly good for my deen, my heart, and my future." Because not every relationship deserves your tears. And sometimes the greatest blessing is when Allah saves you from the person you were afraid to lose.